Hello VC, what's going on? This is Will, and this is my latest vinyl update. And today I'm gonna show you a few records that I picked up either at the record show that they had last weekend, or at also some pickups that I picked up at my local Goodwill, my local thrift store. And let's start off with the pickups from the record show. They usually, I think I mentioned this before, but they have a record show here in Atlanta about once every 2 months. So I try to show up there every other month to see if they have something that I really want. And in this case, I just bought a couple of records. They have a few records that I also wanted to buy, but they were a little bit too expensive. So I ended up with just 2 records. It was good enough for me. And this first one is Sonic Youth. It's one of their best albums, I believe. This one's called Sister. And this one is from 1987 on SST Records. And there's the back. And this is not the very first pressing of the album, and you can tell because it still has the censored image right here. I think some of the later pressings also came with the censored image, censored block for this picture right here, which is Mickey Mouse and Magic Kingdom. I think they were trying to censor some of the pictures here because they were afraid of getting sued. And I'm not really sure why they decided to censor this one right here. I'm not sure what was there originally. Anyways, when I went to the record show, I actually found the same record in one of the first stands, but it wasn't. It was one of the later represses, and it wasn't on SST Records. It was one, I believe, on GEFFEN Records, I think. And it was in really good condition, and it was also very expensive. So I decided to wait a little bit. I kept on digging in some of the different vendors, and I found this one, and that's actually on SST Records. I think you can see right there the SST logo. So it's one of the early presses, but like I said before, it's not the first press because of the censoring right here. But anyways, really happy to have this one. It's one of the best Sonic Youth albums. It's not really my favorite Sonic Youth album, but it's still really good. I'm actually more into the later kind of Sonic Youth releases rather than their very first few albums. But anyways, the 5th album by Sonic Youth, the fifth full-length album by Sonic Youth, really good album. It's called Sister. So check them out if you haven't. It also came in on the regular black vinyl from SST Records, like I said, with the custom labels. I'm not sure who that kid is. It's Thurston Moore, I'm not sure. And there's the other side. So yeah, really happy to have this one. I found it for a good price. Like I said, it's one of the early presses, and I found it for $20. And usually you can find this ones online for a lot more. So I was happy with that pickup. Anyways, my next find at the record show was LEMURIA with PEBBLE. And you've heard me talk about LEMURIA before. This is one of my favorite new bands. And this one is from 2011 on Bridge 9 Records. As you can see, I found it for just $5 used. Good price. There's the back with the track list. Like I said, on Bridge 9 Records. And it also came in with the insert. There's some additional artwork. And what I liked about this insert is that it says here in the credits, LEMURIA is and will always be, and it has the names of the band members, Alex Kearns and Sheena Alzella. Thought that was really sweet. And that's them right here. They're usually a trio, but I think the drummer or the bass player is kind of like a touring musician for them. They're actually the real members of the band. Great indie rock band. From upstate New York, I believe. And it came on, I think there's some colored copies of this album, but I actually found it on black vinyl, which was fine for me. I like the black vinyl with the custom labels. So yeah, that was Lemuria with a short clip from one of the songs from the album PEBBLE. Very highly recommended band, a highly recommended album as well. So check them out if you haven't. I'll put a link to this band here in the description, so you can go ahead and check them out. And one thing that I forgot to mention out of the first album that I showed you, the Sonic Youth album, Sister, this one actually came in with a small insert with the lyrics of the songs and some additional artwork. I'm not sure if all the pressings of this record come with this insert, but mine came in with this one, so I was glad to find this one inside and in really good shape, and I'm glad to add it to my collection. Anyways, those are actually the only 2 records that I picked up at last weekend's record show. There were a few more things that I wanted to pick up, but they were just too expensive, and I didn't want to spend too much money. But anyways, I'm gonna show you a few more records that I picked up, not at the record store or the record show, but some records that I picked up recently at Goodwill stores or thrift stores here in Atlanta. They have a Goodwill close to where I work, so I usually try to stop there about once or twice every week to see if they have something good on vinyl. Most cases they don't. I usually find some good CDs, but nothing on vinyl. But when they do have something good, it's something pretty good, and usually they have really good prices. I think nowadays they're starting to get a little bit smarter and charging a few more dollars for the vinyl. But usually you can find something for good prices at Goodwill. But this first one is Prince and the Revolution with their classic album Purple Rain. And this one is originally from 1984 on Warner Brothers Records. Classic album by Prince. And I'm not a huge Prince fan, but I do like a lot of the songs on this album, like Let's Go Crazy and Purple Rain, of course, and Darling Nikki. Great tunes by Prince and the Revolution, so I picked this one up, especially since it was from the Goodwill, and it wasn't marked up, it was just at the classic 77 cents. And I actually found this record a few days before Prince died, and I think I was pretty lucky to find it before he died, because I think if it had been after, I think they would have charged a lot more than just the 77 cents. And I'm not sure if this is the original press, but it's definitely one of the early presses of Purple Rain. So yeah, happy to find this one and to add it to the collection again. Also black vinyl with the custom labels. But yeah, that was the classic Prince album. And up next, I actually was surprised that I actually ended up buying this record, because I don't have many records by Frank Sinatra. This is actually my only Frank Sinatra record, again from the Goodwill, only 77 cents. And this one's called Strangers in the Night. And this one's called from 1966 on Reprise Records, the Sinatra record label. And there's the back with the credits and track list. I'm not sure what this is. It seems like a description of the album right here. And like I said, it's my first Sinatra record. I do like his voice, and I do like some of the... Sometimes I like to listen to the big band songs. And this record was actually very good, especially the title track of the album, Strangers in the Night. Great tune by the one and only Frank Sinatra. And very relaxing and very chill album to listen to. Glad to add it to at least my first Sinatra record. I don't think it's going to be my last one, though. I'm going to try to find a few more. And usually you can find these ones or Sinatra records for really good prices at thrift stores. Black vinyl with the Reprise record labels. Great looking labels. I love the Reprise record labels. They look awesome. Alright, up next, also from the thrift store. I got lucky once when I went to the thrift store. I think it was a few weeks ago. I found a couple of Van Halen records. This is Diver Down, and this one is from 1982 on Warner Brothers Records. You can see there the sticker from the Goodwill, 77 cents. There's the back with really cool pictures of the band playing live. And the track list. Not sure if it's the first pressing, but I think it might be one of the early presses, and it's in really good shape. It barely looks like somebody even played this one. And besides, or let me show you the actual record. Came in on Of course, some black vinyl with the Warner Brothers labels. And I also picked up, found this one also on Goodwill on the same day, 1984. And this one is from 1983 on Warner Brothers Records. I believe this is also one of the original presses, I think, or either an original press or an early presses. I'm not really sure. I didn't look into it. And classic album by Van Halen. I actually liked this one better than Diver Down, way better actually. It came with inner sleeves, some pictures of the band, and of course on black vinyl with also the Warner Brothers labels. Classic songs here, 1984. My favorite also House of Pain. I love that song, and of course some classic Van Halen songs like Hot for Teacher, Jump, and Top Jimmy. Great tunes here all over the place in 1984 from Van Halen. Actually, I think Diver Down also came in with an insert, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, it did. Really good shape. Glad to find this one for less than $1 on Goodwill with the classic Van Halen lineup. So yeah, glad to have this ones in my collection because I actually did not have any Van Halen on vinyl until now. I have some of their CDs, but nothing on vinyl. Up next, also from the Goodwill, I picked up Star Wars, the soundtrack of the original movie from this one is from 1977 on 20th Century Records. And this is actually John Williams and the London Symphony Orchestra. The original record with the back of course, the classic Darth Vader picture. This one did come with the original gatefold with pictures of the movie. It did not come with the poster though. I did look into it and it didn't have the poster. I was really curious about this. I'm not a huge Star Wars fan. I'm actually not a big into sci-fi movies that much. But I do like classical music every once in a while, especially when I'm reading or I'm trying to do something that requires a lot of focus. And it came with the original inner sleeves of 20th Century Records. And of course on the traditional black vinyl and the 20th Century Record labels. And what I found interesting about this record is something that I've never seen before on records. It's actually a double album, a double LP, but it did come with which one is it? Side 1 came in one of the records with side 4 instead of side 2. They skipped 2 and 3. So it's like the first record comes with side 1 and side 4, and the second record has side 2 and side 3. And I did a little bit of research to see why they did that. Apparently they did it so it would work with some kind of record playing or record machine that would automatically shift or change the records. So you wouldn't have to change the records almost right away or after the first listening to the first side. I'm not really sure how that works, but I thought it was kind of cool to see it in this record. And great album. It's just very, very beautiful classic music from the movie, and just John Williams and the orchestra. It's just amazing. It has probably the best artist for movie soundtracks or music from the movies overall. But anyways, great to add it to the collection, especially when I'm doing something like that. Up next, I also picked up a couple of more records. I found this one's also at the thrift store, but just yesterday when I went to the thrift store on Friday. And they had a lot of good stuff. It looks like almost like somebody just dropped off their collection. A lot of metal that I didn't really pick up, but a couple of rock and roll albums that I did. What surprised me in this time that I went to the record store yesterday was that they actually increased the price of the records. I think the Goodwill or the thrift stores in general, they're starting to get a little bit smarter about records themselves. I think they're starting to see that people actually look for them, and then they get really excited about when they find something good for really cheap. So they're starting to charge a little bit more about it for the records. Still better than the prices at record stores, but some of them actually, especially considering the condition of those records, I think they're charging too much. I found a couple of them, a couple of records for $5, so I had to pick this ones up. Good price anyways for a record in good condition. This first one is Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, and this one's called Damn the Torpedoes. Classic album by Tom Petty. And here's the back, pictures of the band and the track list. Again, I'm not sure if this is the original press, and I don't know if I show you this, but it did come with the price right here, $4.94, I think. Yeah, $4.94. Still a really good price. Came with the original inserts, or the inner sleeves, and the record itself with the this is actually from Backstreet Records from 1979, the Backstreet Records labels. So yeah, really good album. I'm a big Tom Petty fan. I actually don't have that many of his records on vinyl, so I'm trying to pick a few more of his records, and I'm trying to find the original presses as well. So yeah, happy to find this one and add it to the collection, even though it was a little bit more expensive from the Goodwill. I will gladly pay $5 for that record. Now this one, I was really surprised to find it in the Goodwill. I can't believe that somebody would get rid of this one, because it's a fairly new repress of Guns N' Roses with Appetite for Destruction. And as you can see, they actually still have the original tag that somebody bought it from Fry's. It doesn't say the date, but actually it does say the date, from 2008. This is one of the labels that they use at Fry's Electronics, really close by electronic store that they also sell some vinyl. And somebody paid $17 for this record, which is a good price for a repress. But I actually bought it at the thrift store for $4.94. And this one is originally from 1987 on Geffen Records, of course, with new artwork, not the original pressing with the original artwork that was censored. This is actually a repress. It says Back to Black, premium audiophile pressing on heavyweight 180 gram vinyl in all the original packaging. And it came also with this sleeve, protective sleeve. There you go, with the glossy artwork. Classic album by Guns N' Roses. The track list in the back and the picture of the band. Also came in with the insert. This one has the original artwork from the original censored artwork from the album, and in the back you get the lyrics and the record itself on regular black vinyl on Geffen record labels. So yeah, really interesting to find this one out, and especially in the thrift store. It looks like somebody just dropped their collection, or maybe someone's mom came in with a bunch of old records and was thinking that they are old records, and then they threw somebody's collection out there. They also have a few metal albums that I'm not really that much into, and they were way overpriced. They were charging more than $4.94. They were charging for some of them. They were really bad condition, some old Rush records. Some of them were represses, and they were charging like almost $12 or $13. I think it was too much, because some of them were really bad shape. I just picked up two that they were in really good shape and something that I will actually listen to. So I'm really glad to find this one at the thrift store. I actually never seen something as new as Guns N' Roses at the thrift store. But anyways, that's actually all I have to show you for today. I have a few more pickups that I'm gonna save those for the next few videos. So sorry for the long video, but I'm gonna make a few more in the next few days. So I'll show you a few more pickups. Anyways, I hope everybody's having a great weekend, and take care, BC. Bye bye.